so much for doing this.
On behalf of the board of the PLEA Latin American and the Caribbean chapter, who all the members are also here, that we're also very excited that this next conference is going to be in our side of the world. Barbara is also here, who organized the former conference. So it's good to see PLEA moving around the world and being represented by all the community.
And Valdo, who also brought PLEA to Chile a few years back, is also here. Great.
Yeah, hello, Valdo.
Hola, hola. All right.
To learn some Spanish. That's my goal for next year.
Perfect. All right. So many thanks. Seriously, many thanks. It's truly a challenge. I remember a few months ago, I was in London having a nice dinner with Simos Janas and some friends from the Joanna. And when we start talking about the PLEA and when Jorge shared with us La Coruña experience, it was a challenge. When we saw the all the spreadsheets and all the organization, I almost got in panic and shock just by seeing the what everything is implied on doing this event. But I have been to a few, and I think it's beautiful, and we will try to do our best to make a very significant experience for you guys. I'm gonna share here a screen. Our idea with this space is to we're gonna do at least 4 sessions like this before PLEA. We call it a road to PLEA. So yeah, for today, we just want to share with you the basics of the PLEA, where we're working at this point. And as you all know, well, we already have the website on. This is gonna be happening from the 27th to the 31st of July. Something that we are trying to, and you will see throughout this short presentation, is how can we connect the event with our university and with Costa Rica, which is a small country, but it has a lot of things to offer, right? So I think it's quite of mind-blowing when you share this with, currently we're pitching to have some sponsorship and things like that. And when you go through all these events since 1981, it's truly it's truly an honor to be part of this series of events, especially nowadays, on how important these conversations are with all the challenges that we're facing as humanity. It really makes much more sense to work in this space, because it goes beyond the technical and aspects and the scientific aspects. It is a challenge, and it has a lot of ethics implied on it. And also we want to put some key ideas that we consider should be relevant to discuss nowadays with all these amazing group of people and experiences. And this is the main driver, the main topic. We want to speak about common sense architecture. We want to honor and harnessing local wisdom for sustainable futures. If you ask us what will be like the main objective, I think is how can we share common sense tips? How can we grasp the insights from our research and practice? How can we, with a very simple and common way of communicating or language, we can share with our peers, but with the population in general, what are we learning? What are these key insights? How can we, in one sentence, I'm going to exaggerate this, but how can we, in one sentence, share what is this insight? What is this rule of thumb? What is this vernacular or simple idea that help us to understand the significance of the work we're doing? So this is something that we want to talk about. Of course, there is a lot of layers like vernacular architecture, research, adaptive techniques, local materials. I mean, there is a wide range of things that we would like to put into the table for the PLEA conference next year. And this is why we want to start these conversations, also to try to tackle this down and make it meaningful, not only for the PLEA community, but for, the el gremio, how you say this in English, like all the regional architects or designers or people that is going to be truly interested on being part of this event. Sorry. So the four pillars, they're not quite, like we don't want to push this too much further. Like we don't want to reinvent the wheel. We know there are certain topics that PLEA has gone throughout the years very well. So we would like to talk, of course, about architecture, what that is sustainable, regenerative, what is that for us nowadays in 2026. Also, we want to speak about bioclimatic and passive design techniques. We want to speak about urban science, and we want to speak also about how we teach, collaborate, we create knowledge. So these are like the four core aspects or drivers. However, the question is going to be implied all the time. What is the common sense behind these four key aspects? So that's something that we wanted to further explore. Why our country? Um, there are certain things that we feel very proud. Of course, I mean, if you come to Costa Rica and you talk to the locals, everybody's going to be complaining, like in every country, about the government. And I mean, we have the same struggles that most of the Central American or Latin American countries. However, we have certain things that we feel very proud of. And one of them, 90% of our energy comes from renewable resources. So I think that's very important, especially on the in the conference realm. But also, we are known about biodiversity. There are really nice examples on ecotourism in our country. We have put a significant part of our country to be protected, like natural reservoirs. So that's very important. We abolished the army in the 1940s. So that money that some other countries expended on in war and weapons or whatever, we expended in education and health, and that really made a difference in our country. I mean, these days are very complex and there is a lot of tensions with the governments and our government right now, but still, you can still see these things that they made a difference for our country for many reasons. And in terms of architecture, that's a question that we as academics, but also as practitioners, we want to address in terms of Costa Rica and the region. I don't know if, well, I haven't told you about this, but the next Latin American Biennale of Architecture that is going to be in October in Pamplona, Spain, is going to be dedicated to Costa Rica and Central America. I'm part of the curatorial team, and we're going to have important discussions about this because first, of course, in the PLEA context, we want to understand and talk about, okay, in the region, if there is any light of common sense and facing the challenges we're having with the current climate emergency, which is truly an emergency, if there is something we can learn about this, can we talk about other experiences worldwide, but also in Latin America, in Central America, in Costa Rica. And in terms of our architecture, I mean, we have vernacular examples from indigenous populations. We have the colonial architecture, as many other countries. We have Victorian adaptive style. We have neoclassical, modern, contemporary. I mean, there is a wide range of very good examples that of course, we will see when you come down here. And that's something that each of these forms of developing architecture are strongly connected with, as you may know, with the time, the experience of that time, the zeitgeist as some people may call it. What are the expected products that we want to get from PLEA? Again, this is almost, I think, is very similar to other conferences. We're gonna have the proceedings. We're gonna have, and we are currently working on making an index proceedings document. That's something that, of course, we need to have to make it more attractive to everyone, especially if you're in education and teaching. Then in the educational part, we really would like to have workshops on the state of the art workshops for people to have an upgrade on their skills. So that's something that we would like to propose. Having, of course, the seminars, and we want to do a guided tours for some of these architectural spaces or other experiences in Costa Rica. Yes, with the vernacular and among others. And then we're going to have events, the keynotes, the presentations, the award ceremony, and some exhibitions. And I'm going to show you in more detail about this. In terms of the proceedings and for what we're expecting to get again is how can we work common sense and local wisdom between these four axes or topics, which are again sustainable architecture, urban sciences, bioclimatic and passive design, and collaborative teaching and learning. Uh, this is as I say before, we don't want to reinvent the wheel. However, I think we want to be very critical on what is the behind the scenes on developing research. We want to talk about common sense. We want to talk about the insights. We want to grasp what are the things that actually inform all the decisions and the processes we do when we create or develop a research process, or when we share a practice by itself. I am a practitioner as well, and beyond just showing the projects, we want to see by on first hand what happens before and after a project is built. What are the insights? What do the people have to tell about? If you create a participatory process to develop a project, what are the learnings from it? So that's where we want to be very critical with all these topics. In terms of the workshops, as I mentioned before, we are fully open for all your feedback regarding what can we have next year in terms of a state-of-the-art sustainable environmental design tools. We want people to give, I don't know, capacitations or workshops on microclimatic design and all the topics that we all know we have through a master or a PhD regarding comfort, energy, materials, and you name it, right? So that's something that we really want to tackle and give the opportunity and the chance for people to come to Costa Rica and have a meaningful workshop in which you can upgrade your skills, especially with technical tools. Then the seminars, these are focused on the critical thinking sessions. This is something that we want to further talk by the end of this presentation, and having your feedback or ideas or thoughts on how can we make this more a meaningful experience. These are the topics, of course. However, we will like go further on what is better to have, like more discussions, more participation. How can we grasp getting more insights in the format we present the parallel sessions? Instead of just having one person at the time sharing the research, what about if we do it in a certain way with a certain arrangement of the space? These things, I think they really matter. And these are important conversations that we want to have with you throughout these months. Then, of course, we want to have guided tours in terms of bioclimatic architecture, social impact, and regenerative. So we believe we have good examples. And I mean, of course, Costa Rica, in terms of ecotourism, is a prime destination. So also you're gonna have plenty of opportunities to go to the rainforest, to the beach, you name it. I mean, it's a small country, and within minutes, you can be from the Central Valley going to the beach. Actually, from San Jose, which is in the center of the country, to the closest beach, it takes you like 45 minutes if you don't have a traffic jam. But everything is so close. So this country offers a lot of opportunities to move around in a very short time and distance. In terms of the keynote lectures that we would like to have and host, we would like, of course, to invite a senior and experienced to share, especially if we talk about a lifetime achievement recognition. That would be amazing to have someone that can share with us their experience. Honorary members, we want to grasp people that can talk about common sense architectures in Latin America or around the globe, and of course, global leaders. So in this moment, we are fully open to have your recommendations. We are currently working on some practitioners that we believe they could share a lot with us, valuable and meaningful projects. So that's something we're on working right now. Then in terms of the awards, we have the this driver of common sense. So of course we're going to have the lifetime, the PLEA award, the best paper, best poster, and something that we're proposing for this event, and we really would like to have this, is the PLEA award for sustainable architecture and design. So that's something that we really would like to celebrate and to give a prize and have an exhibition when you come to Costa Rica next year about meaningful projects, practices that can share with us these ideas put into place, and we can have also beautiful conversations. Probably one of these winners or mentions could share their work also as a keynote speaker. Who knows? But I think this is something that we want to celebrate, at least in the Costa Rican next year event. Then the ceremonies, they're really similar to other PLEA events. The only difference that I may highlight is that we would like to get you a Universidad de Costa Rica experience. We would like you to walk you around the campus. It's a beautiful campus within the city, and there is a lot of history from modern architecture. So that's something we would like to get you deep into it, of course. And then the exhibitions, we would like to share, of course, the posters and the sustainable architecture and any other recommendation that you may have. We will consider it, of course, and try to put it. We have enough space in the School of Architecture and in the university itself. So we have space. I don't know, we have time, but we will try to do our best to make it happen. And of course, the papers and the best papers to be presented. Then this is just something that we're gonna upload very soon on our webpage. We just wanted to share our first approach for the event. It's gonna be a 5 days event. Of course, Monday is mostly for arrivals and having a reception. But then on the mornings, we would like to propose to have, of course, the ceremony on Tuesday, to the opening ceremony. And then the green ones, here are the plenary sessions. These are the order of the day. So we're going to talk about what we're going to have today, and we will have a closing by the end of the day. So this is nothing new. This is something that occurs usually on these conferences. Then we will have here the keynote presentation, and then we will have no, I'm sorry, not the keynote. We're going to have the exhibitions. We're going to have the first exhibition, probably the Sustainable Architecture Award or the posters or both. Then in the afternoon, we're going to have the parallel sessions. And this is part of the conversation we want to have with you today. We're going to have these parallel sessions occurring on the afternoon, followed by a coffee break, and then the keynote presentation and the closing plenary. So this is more or less the pace that we're proposing. Could be very ambitious. We will see. This is something that we will polish down the road with you. Very important here is the next day. We're going to have again the opening up with the plenary sessions. Then we will have parallel, but these parallel sessions are going to be occurring in parallel with the workshops and the PLEA Kids experience. That this is something I believe has been done in other PLEA events. So that's something we will have, and the same logic for the rest of the day. Then on Thursday, same thing. We're going to have the plenary, and then we're going to have site visits, the guided tours near San Jose or around, and then we have the parallel sessions, and then same pace. And then we're going to have the last day, the last parallel sessions in coordination with workshops and PLEA Kids. Then we have other visits, plenary, coffee break, and the final event with the keynote, awards, closing ceremony, and the gala dinner. So this is more or less what we're shaping at this point. For me, it doesn't seem that this is we're pushing too much the boundaries of what you have done before. However, I think the where we will like to try to innovate, in quotes, a little bit more, it's on the parallel sessions, and this is the conversation we would like to have furthermore with you. For those who just got into the call later, well, again, myself, Mike, and Emily, we are the head organizers for this conference. And I just want to acknowledge that we have an art director, which is Andre Kelso. And currently we have a couple of assistants that they're helping a lot and working side to side with us to develop all this work. And we are currently, getting more people from our school together to start working on this, because it's truly a challenge, and we're on it, and I think we're going in the right track, hopefully. What are the key dates? Today we start the call for abstracts. Everything is all set up on our webpage. You will see that there is well, I can go with you in a few minutes, in a few seconds, to show you where you can upload your abstract. Then we have the second call on August. September is the deadline. October, we're gonna have the final acceptance. And then on March, we're expecting to have the full text. So this is more or less the pace of the key times. Then we will have also these 4 moments with you. This is the first one, of course. Then in August, we would like also to have an online session to discuss other important things about the conference, I'm sorry. And then in September and April. These moments, we call it the road to PLEA, because for us it's really important to have these spaces to show you in a very transparent way what are we doing, to be accountable also, but also to polish what is the experience about. And yeah, our website is already on. I'm just gonna go to it quickly with you. I think that probably, I mean, if you go more or less what I just show you is there. Our main topic, our pillars, our country. Of course, this is gonna be throughout the process. We're gonna upload more information, especially if you come to Costa Rica. We're gonna give you all the tips, all the hints behind that. Well, the link, of course, to the main organization. And then here is, well, who is our team, and to apply, let me see. To apply, for example, here, you see, you can contact us in this bottom, or the submissions. If you go to the submissions, here is the stages that we currently have. You can download the template, and here is the submit. We're working with the conf tool. So basically, if you go to the conf tool, that's easy to follow. You make your user and so on and so forth. I think this is something that you have done before, so I'm not gonna go in detail to it. Just wanted to show you quickly that part. And then, yeah, we just want to, that's it from our end. We want to talk with you, open the conversation, and probably the topic that we would like to address. Of course, if you want to just pop in with anything else, feel free. But these parallel sessions for us are very important. I'm just gonna show you this image quickly. We're speaking about format, arrangements, how do we sit, how do we collaborate, how can we gain feedback, timing. I mean, there is a lot of aspects. I know this has been studied before in many other events and experiences. I have been working in participatory design processes for the last 20 years, so that's something I really care a lot about, how you manage to get people together and have a significant experience. So, of course, you have been to other PLEA Congress conferences. So we want to hear from you, how you felt, ideas. I know we're not going to solve this in this call, but we just want to start a conversation, and also getting your feedback, written feedback, if possible, from our friends, colleagues or in our email. I mean, we have different ways on communicating. So I'm gonna stop sharing here, and I'm just gonna open it up. If you have any questions, comments, please feel free to jump in.
Yes, please. I think, thank you so much. This is amazing that you have all these ideas already jotted down and the website is up. And I'm sure there will be comments and questions and, suggestions from, the folks you're working with in the board. In previous players, we've always had to juggle that balance between having giving many people the opportunity to speak and providing opportunity to talk between researchers. So I think that's a really important balance to consider, right? How long are presentations and how much time is given for question and answers? And I think that's something which if you're working with participatory design, you probably have a sense that there's always a lot more time needed for conversation. And that'll be a really important balance, I think, to get the right size while you're working on the conference. I mean, I'm thrilled that you have everything sort of laid out already. I haven't seen that before, so that's really beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Ricky.
Rick.
Yes, thank you very much. And yeah, I totally agree with that timing and framing of the spaces, it's critical, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've said this in the board and in other meetings. I think the most memorable PLEA conference was in Bologna, where we all had these round tables, and there was this idea of coming together around, and so having the opportunity to go inside and outside, I think is also in Chile, I just see Baldo, right? That there was outside space where you could have relief from being in an interior with all the screens, right? That's also, I'm sure you'll have that opportunity in Costa Rica is very important, I think.
Ulrike, you know what? Something I experienced that it could be very helpful. There is an app that is called Menti. There is other apps like this in which people they can share directly and their comments on the screen without even raising the hand. The reason I'm mentioning this is because I mean I have to talk right now, but usually I'm very shy. I am not really extrovert. I like to stay on the back and just listen. So I think we can enable spaces to allow people in the moment to share, so that help also to guide the conversation, but also to have documentation afterwards for the researcher. So I don't know, there's something about these new apps and digital platforms that can help, to do that part as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that everybody is probably talking right now in the chat and not in the screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that could be an option. Yeah. Barbara, go ahead, please.
Yes, so first of all, thank you. And I will echo what Ulrike just said. This is absolutely amazing and impressive. Fantastic to see it. I wanted to declare all my help because I have this fresh hand-on experience, and I'm pretty sure that you have all the database already copied in the conf tool. The guys are super helpful. But whatever might be needed from last year experience, I'm absolutely at your service. And it's really fantastic. Thank you for opening this opportunity so we can meet. First of all, we can meet you before the conference. That's really encouraging and great. And for opportunity to meet the other board members. This is really a rare opportunity. I have a feeling that we don't meet enough between the conferences. So I'm super happy about this. Thank you very much for bringing this new value. As for the length of the conference, Of course, yes, of course, it's a plan. I'm truly scared how possibly we can find 5 days to stay in one place in Costa Rica for the conference. It's an amazing opportunity. Yes, it's great. But there are different things and challenges that we have to also to live with. And for this purpose, of course, I will do my best to stay for the whole event. But I was just wondering if it would kill your program if the gala dinner is somewhere in the middle of the conference, because sooner or later we will have to leave. The heart is breaking. But if we have the gala dinner and everyone is looking at the watch because we have to wake up very early in the morning, and some of us would probably just have to take the late planes to come back to Europe. For us, it's a 12 hour trip. So it's not always our choice when we can truly fly. So to have more opportunity for networking, I would personally appreciate if gala dinner was in the middle. Of course, I know what's the trick, because we were also thinking how to keep people till the last moment. But it normally it works if the ambience is good, if people are happy, they will stay with you as long as possible. And if they cannot, they will just miss the dinner. So it would not basically change anything. But anyway, fingers crossed, and I share the excitement of the others. That's really fantastic. You are rocking.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Barbara.
Barbara,
Thank
for
you
your
very
feedback.
much.
Thank
And I
you for
think, no, sorry.
No, thank you for the feedback.
No, and there is I think there is a wonderful idea behind moving the gala dinner that probably this network space is something that we should explore further. What I mean is that maybe even maybe cut a little bit one of the spaces we have to gain more informal space to gather and to talk about, because that's part of at the end is, in academia, we said here,
Network.
where the real magic occurs between the faculty, it's in the corridors, it's in the lunchroom. I mean, those are the spaces that actually we dig, because that's where the things occur actually. So we will try to put more thoughts on how to enable those spaces to happen better, more fluent, and more informal for us to get connected and get together. Yep.
Okay. Hello, and thank you very much for this great program in this time. I come also from Europe, Germany, and we work very interdisciplinary together between architects, engineers, foresters, and so on. And I think a lot of young people, students, and so on, will take part with us on this PLEA conference. But maybe it's possible to stay a little bit longer there and to visit some special places in Costa Rica, maybe, because we are interesting, especially on value chain, for example, from forestry to wooden houses and so on. And maybe if you can tell me some people who can help us to organize a trip for the students and the professors from this special program after your conference, I think it will be very interesting. We have a long flight, and so we can spend more time in your nice country, if it's possible
I don't
for
know.
you.
For a student competition.
I think definitely, Eric, it's possible, and that's part of. I mean, I think that's the excuse for you guys to come to the playa. But we like to host people. We like you to come over. I think the country is beautiful, but also, as you mentioned, we have very good experts in terms of biology, forestry, timber construction. Myself, I built the biggest timber building in Costa Rica. It's a forest storage laminated timber construction. Our
Super.
local expert, our local expert, Juan Tuk, he wrote the codes for building construction for the region. So, I mean, if there are certain topics that you think you will like to explore to take more advantage of coming down here, let us know and we can get you in contact. The University of Costa Rica is a big university, is the biggest public school. There is a lot of expertise in many fields. So I think the first, it's if you can write to us an email letting us know what are your interests, and we can try to, get you in contact directly with the appropriate people. Beyond architecture, we will do it for you. Yes, for sure.
Super. Thank you very much.
And also,
Very nice.
Emily just mentioned to me the possibility to maybe for our students, if you will come with group of students, maybe we can do, like a workshop or a competition. I don't know. We can explore something to work together down here. There is, I don't like.
We are in the School of Architecture.
Yeah.
We need.
We can make a summer. It's gonna be summer, so we can make a
Summer school.
Oh, is that possible?
summer space. We have a lot of challenges, like I work a lot in informal settlements or indigenous communities, or I mean, there is great opportunities to integrate knowledge from many parts of the world and try to tackle a very complex challenge together. So I mean, that's something that we can start the conversation at this point. That could be something meaningful. Yep.
It would be great. And I sent an email to Michael Smith, or what email I can use?
No, it's the one on the website.
Okay.
Yeah, you have contact email, and then you have for the application on the Conf tool. So you have both there. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you.
Mike, I would like to say something. I don't know. As you said, I have a rusty English and awful English, but I'll try to do my best. And if not, I'll try to do it in Spanish. But I was thinking about this, the last thing you said about these problems that we have mostly in Latin America, the informal settlements and the indigenous settlements. And I don't know, taking advantage of this 5 days event, maybe it would be nice to think in like a competition, or not a competition, but an effort from the researchers and the students, maybe to have in the Monday or in the Thursday, I don't know, the second day, I forget. But to have a goal to let the students and the researchers to do solutions, or proposal solutions for a community, and then to work like 1 or 2 hours every day, and maybe for the last day to present the results and maybe have a winner or the best project. In Mexico, we have called the repentina, that is a fast work that lasts like 12 or 24 hours. And it's not like an executive project, but maybe like conceptual ideas to solve this problem. And maybe this could be like the first time that to do this, to present this problem, the community, maybe travel to the community, travel to the informal settlement, and take students and researchers and let them work in a space for 1 or 2 hours every day to have solutions. I don't know. It's just like an idea.
Parallels events.
Yeah, we can find the space, but also because of the common sense topic of the conference, I think we should try to make more like an exchange. For example, if we go to an indigenous community, there are some communities that they have a lot of knowledge on how to build with palm, with grass, or with other local materials. So it will be amazing how, we can get this amazing group of experts coming to Costa Rica and students getting to know the community and try to work collectively on a solution that we figure out together. I don't know, that exchange part, I think is very beautiful. We were speaking today about the importance on mapping the local knowledge on construction. There is not a huge amount, but there is a significant number of experts with ram earth, clay, stonework. I mean, and it goes from the traditions from 200 years ago or even for 800 years ago. So that's something that we would like to explore and try to craft, but what I suggest, it's again, maybe through an email, we can start working on how can we develop this experience, a more academic experience workshop that is meaningful for you guys to come over with the students and experts, and that's something that for sure we can do together. Yes. Thank you, Carlos, for that one.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we're getting close to the hour. We would like to make these sessions like short, like 40 minutes, 30 minutes. But of course, if you want to share something else, we are fully open to it. Thank you, Aram. We have a message from Aram. Thank you very much for joining us. And if not, you have our email, website. We will keep you posted for the other event. It's really important for us to have these spaces with you so we can. Today was a bit more formal, more like a monologue from our side to share the event. But next time, hopefully, we can have more like a working space to talk more and be more critical about what we want to achieve together. Alrighty.
Thank you
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Can you please turn on the cameras if you can so we can take a picture?
Please.
Awesome.
So,
Perfect.
thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a wonderful night, day. Big hugs from Costa Rica. Hope to see you soon.
See you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ciao.